Big Sales Power Hour number 3. It is always interesting listening to Curt Schilling. So Curt Schilling was in a World Series with the Phillies, the Red Sox, and the Diamondbacks. And you throw a guy the pill like that to go out and win you a 9-inning ball game. Man, gone are those days. Who would you rather have on the hill, Scherzer or him? I mean, and you keep him out of the Hall of Fame because of his political beliefs. That's what the media does. Guys with pens and paper and erasers. You should have your vote taken from you. If you have one's religious beliefs, sexuality beliefs, and by the way, I don't give a shit what you believe in, but that shouldn't be held against you. Ty Cobb murdered someone. That wasn't held against him. But someone has a different political belief than you. That is. Who are you to do that? What gave you that empowered privilege to say whether a guy's a Hall of Famer or not when you look at Schilling's accomplishments? You think Mike Mussina is more accomplished than Curt Schilling? Honest to God, I mean, he's one of the most dominant pitchers in the 90s. He was part of that whole crew with Clemens and Johnson. Pedro. He was in that conversation with those guys. Every time Curt Schilling stepped on the hill, he was a guy you went, holy shit, man, you better have your A game. Like the Phillies, I mean, he could easily, would we not agree Curt Schilling goes down as one of the top 3 arms in Philadelphia Eagle history? Roberts, Carlton. I'll tell you what, Roy Halladay, man, he was pretty dominant for the time that he was in Philly. But Carlton, Roberts, Curt Schilling, Roy Halladay, doesn't he go down? Dude, I'm not hating on Mussina. He won 20 games in his final season with the Yankees. I'm not saying that. Okay? This guy in the 90s was one of the most dominant arms. Randy and Schilling. Get this, Eagle fan. Can you imagine? You got to go back-to-back against the D-backs against Randy Johnson and Curt Schilling. Man. Okay? Twiz, what's that Rip Doc mean? Christy Matheson going further back. Okay. Schilling's best years were with the Diamondbacks and Red Sox. Yeah, but he was leaned on more in Philly, I thought. I thought he was leaned on more. Okay? Dude, Roy Halladay. Okay, got you. Twiz, thank you. Hey, Roy Halladay, man, lived in Orlando, and he had a place when I was doing my sports talk show in Florida. Roy Halladay is one of the sweetest guys you'll ever meet in your entire life. Guy lived in Orlando. What a great dude Roy Halladay was, man. What a dominant arm he was with the Blue Jays, too. Holy piss, was he good. Man, every single time that I did an event, Roy Halladay would show up. Every time. Lived in Orlando. He'd come over to Tampa, or I'd meet him. We'd go play golf at the Hyatt course or over at Ritz-Carlton, and we'd go over and play. Dude, what a great, great guy. Just a great dude, man. Unbelievable. And a great player. Dude, unbelievable. All right. I'm going to do something here in this hour here. We're going to look at the 49ers here in a second. How many people believe the 49ers can dethrone the Eagles as NFC champions? I think they can. Is it likely? And here, look. Here's why I still lean to Philly. Dude, on June 21, you don't have your quarterback situation figured out yet. And until you have that thing situated, you're not beating Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. So get this. Here's what the 49ers have to do to get themselves in a conversation where they can dethrone them. You're not going to know what your quarterback situation looks like until week 8 and whether or not it's made an impact. The Eagles already know. They're 2 years. The Eagles are 2 years ahead of your progress in quarterback. The 49ers are behind. They're not behind in roster. They're not behind in coach. But you're behind at the most important position. Has it been an impact? The only reason that the San Francisco 49ers battle out for the Super Bowl and battle out for the NFC title every year is because the NFC sucks. The 49ers could never do this in the AFC. Why? Because you're not beating those quarterbacks. Here, if Jalen Hurts and the Eagles can't beat Mahomes, you're not beating those guys too. With Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey. You're not. You are not beating those teams with those quarterbacks. I don't care how good your roster is. You're not beating them. You're just not. So instead of doing my receiver list, I want to get to the 49ers here. Because the 49ers have been whining so much. The 40-whiners, actually. These guys have been crying so much. And they believe that the 49ers have a chance to beat the Eagles. Let's take a look at this. And let's see how you match up with some. And by the way, I'm looking at your roster today on June 21 versus the teams that you're going to play and how I see the matchup and whether or not I think it's a good or bad matchup for you. Okay? So, obviously, things can change. Things will change because of injuries. The 49ers are notorious for injuries. Okay? All right. So, they open up with the Steelers. Good pass rush, good secondary in Pittsburgh. The quarterback can't move the chains. The quarterback is not going to be able to move the sticks against the 49er defense. The Steelers are a great opening week game for them. You got an inability at the quarterback. Kenny Pickett is not good. He's okay. You can't be okay and beat San Francisco. You are not beating the 49ers with Kenny Pickett and that defense. Not happening. Not happening. Your offensive line is getting better in Pittsburgh. Bosa's going to go nuts. You're not beating that team. Pittsburgh is getting better, like I said. Najee Harris can run the ball, but the two inside tackles plus the edge rushers in line, not a chance. There's not a chance you beat the 49ers in week 1. Just not. And it's at Pittsburgh, which gives you 3 points. Still not going to be enough. You play the Rams in Los Angeles. Sean McVay has a great record against San Francisco. Now, do you have enough to rush the passer? Yes, you got Donald. But you lose Ramsey in the exchange at corner. Your O-line is not good enough to stop San Francisco's D-line. Who's covering Debo? Who's covering Kittle? Who's covering Christian McCaffrey? Man, I think they destroyed the Rams in week 2. Who are you? Your defense is terrible in Los Angeles. There is not a chance in hell the Rams win that game. Not a chance. Got the Giants at home in Santa Clara. What do they have? You got a tight end that will be covered by Fred Warner, and the other guy they have was pretty good. They got a good left tackle, so he'll cover Bosa. The safeties are good, so they'll be able to spy on Daniel Jones. Barkley helps play action. Who are you throwing the ball to? Who are you throwing the ball to? How are you keeping San Francisco at bay with those wide receivers you have? You're not. And it's at home? Not a chance. San Francisco, the first 3 games, their talent is 2-1. Their talent is 2-1 here. Cards. I'm not even going to talk about that game. So, the way I look at it, first 4 games of the year, San Francisco's superior at every position. Every position, every grouping. They're going to come out of the gate exceptional here. They got the Cowboys at home in week 5. So let's take a look at this one. You got Dak, okay? It's a pretty close game in the divisional game last year. I do believe Dak will be better. Who's running the ball? Tony Pollard? He's a finesse back. Catches back, footballs out of the backfield, running in between the tackles. You're really going to put a guy who's coming off a leg injury into a game against a team where you're going to try to give him, 25 carries? You don't have a running attack. You're more of a finesse team now. You're a finesse team going against a power defense. That's a complete mismatch. I don't see where Dallas. And by the way, the 49ers have like 3 great wideouts. The Cowboys have one good one in CeeDee Lamb. They have one good one. Galladay's okay. Brandon Cooks is good. But we're talking Kittle, Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, McCaffrey. Come on, man. It's stupid. 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 I think they beat the Cowboys. Week 6. This is going to be a good one here. At the Browns. 49ers at the Browns. Oof. Okay? Myles Garrett, you got to deal with him. They got good corners. They got good backers. And this is going to be a close ball game. You got Nick Chubb. You got 3rd-ranked O-line in the game. You got a quarterback who we don't know yet. I'll tell you what, man. That game right there, I'm still going to – your quarterback is not in the room with Deshaun Watson. I think you lose that game in Cleveland because you're not going to be – dude, they're a good football team. I think Cleveland wins that game against San Francisco. Week 7, you got the Vikings in Minneapolis. Let's see. Justin Jefferson. I don't see who covers him. Then again, Minnesota doesn't have a running back now. Who's running the ball there? Kirk Cousins is your quarterback? San Francisco blasts this team. They're not losing that to Minnesota, even on the road. This is a great football game here. Week 8. Bengals and 49ers. Whew. Man, what a good football game this is. Burrow is superior than anything San Francisco has in their quarterback room. Automatically gives them the edge. They have as good a wide receivers. San Francisco's better because of the tight end, but you don't have the guy getting them the ball like Cincinnati does. And I think Cincinnati's defense is underrated. I think Cincinnati beats you at your own place. I think Cincinnati wins this game. Week 9, you got to bye. Then you come out of the bye against the Jags in Jacksonville. This is another, I'll tell you what, you got a nice little stretch coming up here. You got the Jags coming out of the bye. Trevor Lawrence. You got Ridley now. You got NTN. You got an improved defense. Another year in the system. Man, Trevor Lawrence is the better quarterback. I think that's an L. I think you beat the Bucs. It's at home. Bucs come to Santa Clara week 11. Seahawks. First time you see them, it's in Seattle. 11th man or 12th man, excuse me. I think Seattle's got a really good roster. Seattle's got the quarterback. Well, I think. But I think you're better. I think you're better than them. I think Geno Smith's a one-year wonder. I do. I think he's a one-year wonder. I think the Niners win this game. Then, December 3rd, you got the Eagles on the road. Your corners versus, look, with a signal caller, that game is going to come down to last possession. I think the 49er defense did a spectacular job against the Eagle offense when it came to offensive production. And the only reason they put the 31 points up wasn't because they were going on extended drives. It's because, again, at the end of the day, they had short fields to work with because the quarterback was turning the ball over. There was a ton of turnovers. They had no QB play. It's not excuses. It's facts. 263 yards in total offense is all they had. Lowest output of the year. They could keep San Francisco. They could keep the Philadelphia Eagles at bay. They can. They did. You look at the score and go, that doesn't really tell you the story. There was nobody who had a dominant game in that game, except for the Eagle defense. You had nobody on offense with a dominant game. No one. Zero. Actually, you didn't have anybody the entire playoffs, except in the Super Bowl, with a dominant game offensively. Nobody. So they can keep them in it, but Hurts, in my opinion, Jalen Hurts is he's the trump card in this. Who are you putting in there to go against him to keep the series going? And how about this? A healthy Brock Purdy versus a healthy Jalen Hurts. Let's just say both guys are healthy. I'm going with Hurts. I'm not going with Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy had a nice run. That doesn't necessarily mean because you go on a nice run. Cooper Rush went on a nice run. What's that thing? Okay, at the end of the day, kid, this is one of Tone's lines. Put your name on the test. This doesn't mean you passed it. Hey, he had a great run. Won a divisional game. Fantastic. Right. Well, okay. With that roster, you better be good. All right? How do you think the O-line dominated that football game when you only had 260 yards in offense? It was your lowest output. Dominated? I wouldn't call dominated them. They had turnovers. The defense dominated. He didn't dominate anything on offense. That was not an offensive dominated game when you look at players with numbers or statistically. Third downs, your first downs were not very good. They did a good job. For not having a quarterback and 1.3 billion and outs, they did a nice job. Did the 49ers cross the 50-yard line at all? Okay? I think the Eagles win this game. So that's an L. I think the Seahawks turn around and get a win because it's a divisional game. Cardinals, you win this one. Shit, man. Week 16, all beat up. You got the Ravens at home. Wow, is that going to be a great game? I'm going with Lamar in that game. Commanders, you win that one. Then you got the stupid-ass Rams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right? Of the 17 games, 12 of those games, you're going to have the upper hand, how I look at it. And that's going to be a result of you being in the conversation for hosting home field. See, you get a lesser schedule than the Eagles do. Why you may win home field and lose to the Eagles still. Because the NFC West is not going to be what the NFC East is. Because they've got Dallas in there. The second best team in the West is Seattle. Seattle may be a 10-win team, but I don't think they're better than Dallas. Dallas, to me, is, I think, the third best team in the NFC. So you got the 1 and 3rd best teams in the NFC in one division. That means something. Okay? But still, they played with 10 players. Oh, yeah, I should deduct something because they cry a lot, right? They cry a lot. Hey, I think Washington's going to be a handful. I do. I think Washington's going to be a handful. The defense was more physical than the 49ers. Yeah, you knocked the quarterback out. Totally get kudos for that. You made the biggest play in the game was Hassan Reddick destroying Purdy. And that's not an accident. Well, if he doesn't get, well, guess what? Welcome to the NFL and welcome to tackle football. Don't you love that? Well, if Purdy didn't get hurt, well, if we were talking tennis or golf or pickleball or something like that, okay, you're right. But welcome to tackle football. People get hurt in tackle football. It's why we call it the war of attrition. Don't you love that? Well, if Purdy didn't get hurt. What do you mean if Purdy didn't get hurt? This isn't ping pong. Okay? I mean, you get hurt in a ping pong game, you're like, yeah, the guy got hurt in ping pong. This is tackle football. This is tackle football. Okay, so again, how I look at what their schedule to me, and the teams that they play, the only reason that they're going to be behind in certain ball games is because they're going to have the mismatch quarterback. Okay? Okay? No, Quan, someone asked me to do this yesterday, and I said, okay. See, what Niner guy doesn't like is he just doesn't like the fact that they cried all offseason and whined all offseason. Seriously, Niner, I'm going to have somebody at JAKIB, because we're going to start getting shirts and hats and stuff. We're going to make sure that we send you a bib. And it's got, I want my and need my whoopee. Okay? I need a whoopee. It's all right, kid. Guys whined and cried. We haven't been good for 25 years. Dan's bringing up the same shit again. Oh, really? No. Oh, here, I'll make sure we get some more new material for you. I'll get a menu out. And you know what I'll call it? I'll call it the Hassan menu. Okay? The Hassan menu. You see, what I don't like, though, Niner, hold on, Niner. What I don't like is that your cook, Kyle Shanahan, he overcooks your quarterbacks. Okay? Make sure. Oh, no, I can't go there because I don't want to get in any kind of trouble. Okay? 49er guy. When have you been great? Long gone are those days, dog. Here we go. Long gone are those days. Dan's talking about who we're playing again. Here, wait a minute. What's his tone? Here's Debo. Here, I'm going to put Niner on that list. Debo. Okay, hang on. We only played with 10 guys. Kyle. I hope we play him later in the year. Kittle, I really would have liked to have seen what we would have done if we would have had our guy. The Eagles are overrated. And I saw Brandon Graham yesterday, man. He's right. He goes, just let these guys cry, man. It's great watching grown men moan and cry and bitch and make excuses up for losing. And here's Niner. Got to get me some more new material. The new material, all you have to do is cover the Niners. It's new material every day. I really like the way the guy handles pressure. He's the starter somewhere else, but not here. Come on, man. I mean, it's San Francisco. We got a good team, Sills. I know. Hang on for a minute. Niner, excuse me for a second. Oh, man. Tone, please excuse me, Tone, for a minute. I'm wiping my 40 whiners. Got my 40 whiner eyes. I'm getting emotional. Look at Niners talking bad about me. There you had your 2 seconds of fame, Junior. So, kid, take the rest of the day off. Talking baseball 2 hours on him. Whatever, guy. No. Once again, Niner, you let me handle the content, and you wave your banners, and you wave your red, white, and blue, and your rainbow flags, and all that other stuff. Okay, you do all the fanning, and I'll do all the preparing. Okay, let me worry about it. I got it covered. We're good. You get your rainbow flag on and your Niner pennants and all that other stuff, and we're ready to rock here. All right. Someone said something. What was it? Philly 500 yesterday said something to me. Yes, did I say rainbow? I meant red, white, and blue flag. Excuse me, I meant red, white, and blue flag. I'm sorry, I misspoke. Excuse me, I misremembered. I misremembered, man. I'm sorry. I meant red, white, and blue flag, not rainbow flag. I'm sorry. I misspoke. Way to get my back, James. Way to get my back, Tone. Yes, you know why? Because they liked it too. All right, so yesterday I heard my friend Philly 500. Okay, I heard him say something about Devontae Smith, and CBS came out with top 10 wideouts in the NFL. Okay, and I thought I'd put my top 10 in here. I do not have Devontae Smith in here yet. Okay? And I debated. I want you to hear them and tell me if he fits in this top 10 over one player. I got Jalen Waddle at 10, Dolphins. I got CeeDee Lamb at 9. He did have 1,300 yards last year. He had a better year. He had a better year than Devontae. CeeDee Lamb had a better year. He had a better year. Is he a better player? I'll debate that in a minute. Number 8, I got Dumbo Samuel, 49ers. There's new content for you there, Niner. Dumbo Samuel hits the big Sills list. That's a good point, JM. Lamb's the only option. I got to put the dude Cooper Kupp in there. Okay? Rams at 7. I got to put another crybaby like Niner in here. Stephon Diggs at 6. Bills. I don't know who cries more, Niner or Stephon Diggs. It's pretty close, man. I don't know who cries more, Niner guy or Stephon Diggs. I'm trying. I think it's pretty close. Yeah, Niner, you remind me of Stephon Diggs. A lot of crying, a lot of whining. It's all right, man. It's okay, guy. Sills needs a lemon seltzer. Gives me agita. Okay, I can't have it. Okay, I can't have it because it gives me too much agita. Number 5, I got A.J. Brown. Eagles, NFC. 4, I got Jamar Chase. Bengals. 3, I got Mr. Personality and Mr. Calm, Tyreek Hill. Dolphins. AFC. I got Devontae Adams. Raiders, 2. And I got Justin Jefferson. Philadelphia. Vikings. Sorry. Number 1. Did I do that? I'm sorry. You know, I think I had a little Tourette's moment there when I said Justin Jefferson. Vikings. I'm going to try it again. Justin Jefferson. Vikings. Vikings. Justin Jefferson. Eagle. I did it again. Yeah. Look at Doza. You did it on purpose. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. How dare you think that I would do that on purpose? You think I would do anything like that on purpose? I mean, seriously. Howie Roseman, Vikings. Or maybe we should do this. The number 1 wide receiver in the NFL is Jalen Reagor, Vikings. Is he even on the team? Dan, why are you acting like the Eagles have done anything in 57 years, 1 Super Bowl? Well, I said this, Hollywood, since 2000 that they've dominated the NFC East, and they've actually dominated the NFC. They have more playoff wins than any team in the NFC. Is that right? Am I right when I say that? Yeah. They got more wins in the last 23 years than any team in the NFC. I don't know. Did I misquote something here? Cowboys got 4 wins. Oh! Some of the shittiest teams in the history of the league have more wins. Cardinals, Chargers, Bengals, Jets, Falcons, Bucks, Panthers, all have more wins than the Cowboys do in the last 25 years. Oh, here again, a lot of crying. Too much crying going on, man. Let's see. Then I didn't know second place trophies were a thing. No. You didn't hear me. They have more wins in the playoffs, plus a Super Bowl, and 3 NFC championships in the last 23 years. How many teams have more in postseason play in the NFC. The Giants have 2 Super Bowls. Who else? In the last 23 years. Packers have 1 Super Bowl. Well, here, that's a good point. The Packers have 1 Super Bowl in the last 23 years. The Seahawks have 1 Super Bowl in the last 23 years. 49ers have none. Shit, the Giants got 2. Saints got 1. Rams have 1. Right, because that title was 99, right? Then they got beat by the Patriots. And then they won with McVay. Shit. You're making it sound like the Eagles haven't done shit in the last 23 years. I didn't know second place didn't mean anything, man. I know. Hey, Zeus, just remember, most people who listen to the show don't really know how to read or write because they don't understand what I'm saying most of the time. But it's all right. That's all right. Hey, James, you don't explain it to people like Niner and them guys because they can't hear, man. All they do is whine. Why? Why? Why did you take our quarterback out? Why? Why did you draft Trey Lance? Why did you draft Solomon Thomas? How you doing? Hit the like button. Keep it here on the National Football